There comes a moment in life when you realize you've spent years shrinking yourself without even noticing. Years of saying, "It's fine," of making yourself small so others feel comfortable, of brushing off your needs because you didn't want to be a burden. And for many women, especially after 50, this pattern becomes clearer than ever. Today we are going to talk about how to stop minimizing yourself. Not through force, not through ego, but through a gentle, grounded return to who you truly are. So grab a warm drink, settle into a peaceful moment, and let's walk through this together. Minimizing yourself shows up in subtle ways. It looks like saying "I'm okay" when you're clearly not, downplaying your skills or accomplishments, shrinking your personality to avoid judgment, staying quiet even when you have something meaningful to say, apologizing when you've done nothing wrong, allowing others' preferences to override your own. For many women, especially those raised to be caretakers, this becomes so normal that you forget any other way exists. This isn't weakness. This isn't failure. This is conditioning, layered over many, many years. But the beautiful thing is, anything learned can be unlearned. And anything unlearned creates space for who you were meant to be. There are several reasons why people, especially women, minimize themselves. Reason 1. You were taught to avoid conflict. Growing up, many of us learned that being easy, quiet, or agreeable kept the peace. So staying small became a form of survival. Reason 2. You were taught to serve others' needs first. For decades, maybe you were a partner, a mother, a caregiver, or an employee. Your worth was tied to supporting others. Now, without those roles defining you, you may feel unsure of what you're allowed to take up for space. Reason 3. You fear judgment or criticism. When you've lived long enough, you've probably been criticized for something. Your voice, your confidence, your boundaries, and even your choices. Minimizing yourself becomes a way to avoid being targeted. Reason 4. You were praised for being humble. And humility is a beautiful quality until it becomes self-erasure. Reason 5. Trauma, heartbreak, or emotional exhaustion. Sometimes shrinking is a protective mechanism, a way of avoiding further pain. But here's the truth. You're allowed to grow past that now. You've earned the right to take up space. Notice the micro moments. Stopping the cycle begins with awareness. Most minimizing happens in tiny moments, almost invisible to you. Here are some micro moments to notice. When someone interrupts you and you let your thought die. When you agree to plans you didn't want. When you say you're sorry out of habit. When you dim your excitement so others don't feel threatened. When you dismiss your own ideas. Every time you notice it, say gently to yourself, "I am allowed to take up space." This isn't about forcing a new identity. It's about noticing where you've abandoned yourself. Awareness is the doorway to change. Rebuild your voice. Your voice is more than just your words. It's your presence, your needs, your preferences, your boundaries, and your stories. If you haven't used your full voice in years, it may feel shaky, and that's okay. Every strong voice started shaky. Here are gentle ways to rebuild it. Practice finishing your sentences. Don't trail off. Don't let others cut you short. Pause, breathe, and finish your thought. Say your preferences out loud, even small ones. I'd prefer tea. I'd like quiet this evening. I don't want to watch that type of movie. Allow yourself to correct people when they misunderstand you. Not aggressively, just calmly. Use I feel statements without apologizing for them. These small steps strengthen your inner voice, the one you quieted for so long. Release the fear of being too much. For many women, the fear of being too much is the deepest root of minimization. You're too emotional, too loud, too opinionated, too needy, too sensitive, too ambitious, or too confident. But here's the truth. When someone calls you too much, they usually mean, you're more than I know how to handle. Your emotions are valid. Your needs are valid. Your boundaries are valid. Your desires are valid. And your voice is valid. You are not too much. You were simply taught to be less. And now you get to reclaim the fullness of who you are. Practice taking up space. Taking up space doesn't mean being loud or dominating. It means showing up authentically. Here are gentle ways to practice. Take up physical space. Sit comfortably. Stand tall. Relax your shoulders, and don't shrink your posture. Take up emotional space. Allow yourself to feel without apologizing. Share your truth without softening it to protect others' comfort. Take up mental space. Let your ideas matter. Let your opinions count. And let your voice shape your environment. Take up life space. Try the thing you've been afraid to try. Start the hobby. Speak up in a room. Pause the dream you set aside for decades. You are not here to live small. You are here to live honestly. The gentle return to yourself. Minimizing yourself was once protection, a way of staying safe, a way of keeping the peace. But you're in a new chapter now, a wiser chapter, a grounded chapter, a chapter where you don't have to disappear inside your own life. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to have needs. You are allowed to grow, and you're allowed to speak. You're allowed to become bigger than the version of you that survived the past. You are not too much. You are finally becoming enough for yourself. And that is where true self-worth begins.